Hey everyone, it's Vinny, and I'm back today to go over the 5 Breeders' Cup races that I think will produce the best $2 win payout this year at the Breeders' Cup. What I did for this was I looked at the last 7 years of winners, I looked at the pre-entries, and I kind of made a determination on if I think one of the top few betting choices is going to win, and if not, what kind of price I think I could get on the winner. So here we go. The first race on my list is the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Filly. Over the last 7 years, only 2 favorites have won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Filly, and they were both super heavy favorites in Songbird and Echo Zulu. I don't see anybody like that this year on the pre-entries, and when you don't have that super heavy favorite, we've been getting pretty good payouts in this race. For the last 7 winners have paid at least $13 to win. The best payout in this race over the last 7 years was Champagne Room in 2016, paying $69.20. I'm not saying we're going to get another $60+ winner in this spot this year, but I think we can definitely get somebody home between that like 5 to 10 to 1 price range in this spot. I don't see a horse that is a true standout here. So I wouldn't be afraid to take a little bit of a swing against whoever is the post-time favorite. The next race on my list is the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. And this race has been generally wide open the last 7 years. I know Modern Games won last year, but we couldn't bet on them. Well, we did, but everybody got the post-time favorite who did not run well in that spot. So that was unfortunate. But looking back at the paying winners of this race, Mendelssohn in 2017 is the only favorite in the last 7 years to win the race and pay out to win. But he was also the highest paying favorite of any Breeders' Cup race in the last 7 years. He paid $11.60 to win. I think that's exactly what we're going to get again this year. I don't see there, again, another spot where I don't see a horse being a super heavy favorite this year. And generally, the favorite goes off around that like 4 to 1 price range in this spot. I think this is going to be a great paying race, especially if you like a horse that doesn't end up being the post-time favorite. There's no reason that the winner here can't pay between like $16 and $20 to win. So that's why the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf is on my list. The next race on my list is the Breeders' Cup Mile. And we had Order of Australia a couple years ago pay $148.40, which I'm not saying that's going to happen again either. But I do think that it's usually like the second and third choices in recent years that have won this race. Only two favorites have won in the last 7 years, and 3 others have been the second or third choice. So 5 of the last 7 winners have been one of the top few choices on the tote board. But looking at this race, I do think it's more balanced this year than it has been. I know Modern Games will take money, and that's probably going to be your favorite. But he hasn't been unbeatable this year. He's coming in off a loss, so I think it's a spot where if you're not gonna press your opinion on a horse like on Modern Games as your likely favorite, I think you could definitely take a swing with one of these medium price horses here. I do like Order of Australia again this year. I think he makes a lot of sense. He's been running well, and he likes this Keeneland turf. And I think I'll get a pretty fair price on him. I'm not expecting the 70+ to 1 like I got a couple years ago, but I am expecting to get at least like 7-8 to 1 on him. And I think that'll pay pretty well. So that's why I have the Breeders' Cup Mile as the third race on my list. The fourth race on my list is the Filly and Mare Turf. And no favorites in the last 7 years have won the Filly and Mare Turf. It is the only Breeders' Cup race in the last 7 years that has produced no favorites winning. The last 2 times this race was at Keeneland, Stephanie's Kitten paid $17.60, and in 2020, Adaria paid $37.60. So it's been a very good paying race, especially here at Keeneland. Only one of the last 7 winners has paid under $10, and that was Sister Charlie in 2018, who paid $8.60 to win. Looking at the pre-entries this year, I think we're going to get another one of those, like between like $17 and $20 win payout horses home. The big, if Warlike Goddess was in here, she would obviously be the big favorite, but they've only entered her in the turf. and the rest of that division hasn't looked particularly fantastic. So I definitely think taking a little bit of a stab here with a horse around that like 7-10 to 1 range is definitely plausible here. Probably something I will be doing once I dig into it a little more. But I would not a race that I'm willing to settle on a short price horse. And historically, going against the favorite here has been the right move in the last 7 years. And the race that I think will produce the best win payout of the Breeders' Cup is the filly and mare sprint. Over the last 7 years, the filly and mare sprint has an average win payout of $36.31. In the last 7 years of the Breeders' Cup, there have been 8 winners that have paid at least $50 to win, and 2 of them have come in the filly and mare sprint. Barra Gold paid $135.40 in 2017, and Shamrock Rose paid $53.80 in 2018. Looking at this division this year, it's kind of been all up in the air. There hasn't been a clear standout. I would not settle on a favorite here. I'm definitely going to be using a price horse here and hoping I get the right price horse home. I don't see any reason why we can't get a $30. There can't be a $30 winner in the filly and mare sprint again this year. It seems like a race where it is wide open. There's not a horse like Kofefi or Gamine who've just been dominating all year. So I think we're gonna get a nice price in the filly and mare sprint, and that's why it is the number one. It's the race that I have as number one on the race that I am expecting to have the best $2 win payout in the 2022 Breeders' Cup. Thanks for listening, and I will see you next time.
RacingDudes.com is your home for the best betting tips and coverage for the 2022 Breeders' Cup. Our wagering guides have cashed for thousands. You cannot miss our 2022 Inside Track wagering guide to the Breeders' Cup. So hurry up and subscribe, then go to RacingDudes.com, check out the free picks for every race, every track across the country, and the Inside Track to the Breeders' Cup wagering guide available soon.